guys, it's Sam and this is Top 5 Wednesday. If you're new to Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down below for topics and such. This week's topic is books we think will be future classics. Now, I didn't think this was a very hard topic until I sat down to do it myself, which happens a lot to me when I create topics. And I had a hard time with this because classics are hard to predict and you never really know what's going to stand the test of time. So these are things that I think will stand the test of time. A lot of them, I think all of them are fantasy, because I find, for me, I don't feel like contemporaries have that lasting power because they're contemporary, they're of the moment. So I feel like a lot of them don't have that staying power, but these I feel like have themes that are lasting. There are a lot of books that I talk about a lot. They're a lot of my favorites because I think they're classic. I had a hard time thinking of a YA series that isn't already considered like a modern classic like Harry Potter or The Hunger Games that I felt like could be a classic, but I think the one that will come closest, in my opinion, is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. And I think because the writing is beautiful and her writing is stunning and her writing deserves to stand the test of time, but also the themes that she uses of like war and the effects of war and all of that, I think that's a timeless story and a timeless theme. And also this kind of like Romeo and Juliet thing that they have going on in here as far as like enemies to lovers kind of stuff. That is just a trope that's been around for a long time, so I think that it will continue to be around, but especially like aside from that, I think the war theme is something that you can always relate to because it's always going to be a thing. And we have the Magician's Trilogy by Lev Grossman. This I think can be a classic because it already uses classic tropes from classic fantasy and twist it around. Those things have been canon for a while. Some of these like Narnia and Lord of the Rings and some of these things are just going to be around for a while and are just like part of our media and culture and just iconic. So the fact that that uses some of those and spins those tropes on its head, I think is what makes this also stand the test of time in the same way. Then we have the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin for a similar reason as to the first one, in that war and oppression is always going to be a thing, and this is really focused on that. And also like end of the world stories, people always like apocalyptic stories, and her writing is amazing. So I think it's going to be a classic. She also has won, I think, awards for every single one. She's won awards, but I think she's won the Hugos haven't happened yet. I don't know. But she has the potential to, or has, or whatever, won the Hugo for all of the books in the series. Maybe by the time you're watching this, this has already happened. I don't know. I don't keep up with all of those things. But I do know that she's won a lot of awards for this series and her writing in general, so I think she's going to be around in the minds of fantasy lovers for quite some time. And this series in particular, just, there's so many things about like family and oppression and end of the world stuff and everything that just, I think, will appeal to people years and years from now. Then at number 2, we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Not everyone may agree with me because, as you guys know, this is my favorite book of all time, but I think this just, again, has like the love story component, it has all the different characters, it has the magical writing, it has the magical setting. Like, I just think it's one of those stories that anyone can find something about it that appeals to them, and it's a standalone, which is helpful because you don't have to read a whole series. So I think that this is kind of like contemporary of this time period fantasy that people will go back to. And at number 1, we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Again, similar to all the themes in here that I've already talked about, it is a apocalyptic story. Humans love apocalyptic stories, and they always have. And it's about the connections that humanity makes, and it's realistic, but it's not too contemporary and of the moment, and it's just something that I think could appeal to people for a very long time. And it just feels very real and is about like connection, and something that I think like those themes are all things that I think people will continue to gravitate to for many years. So those are some books that I think will be future classics. Comment down below and let me know some books that you think will be future classics. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!